So one morning I woke up and I found out that my marriage of 20 years was over. I had no say in it. It was done. It was over. 20 years. I was 42 at the time, and so practically half of my life had been as a wife with this person. We had 2 children together who were 17 and 9, and I had no idea what was to come. I didn't even realize until this happened how much of my identity was wrapped around being a wife. I knew that part of my identity was wrapped around being a mom. That seemed like the obvious thing, but there was a lot surrounding being a partner, being a spouse, being a wife. And so when I didn't have that role of being a wife, I honestly didn't know who I was at all. But when you're going through a separation or divorce, you have a lot of quiet time to yourself. And that's a scary place to be. I had no idea. I really had no idea. I was so move. Husband, kids, business, work, go. Little time, downtime to myself. And when you have so much time to you start to realize, I don't even know who you are. I don't. And now part of my identity in being a spouse to someone is now gone. So what are you gonna do now? Who are you? What are your interests? How are you gonna fill your time? How are you gonna get this done? It was a very confusing, scary, frightening, terrifying place to be in. There were some days that I didn't want to get out of this bed. If I had the chance to. The kids were at school. This is usually the time that I would spend working. I had no stamina. I had no mental capacity to work. And the house would be a wreck. The bills would stack up. Lawn would need to be mowed. What have you, whatever you could think of, I was behind on. Balls were dropping everywhere. And I could not continue to live that way. So I knew something had to change. There were lots of changes happening to me, but I had to start thinking about what I had control over in order to get to that healthy place and get to that new identity. And the first thing that I had to do was get my foundation right. And that meant going to my therapist, which luckily I had already established and I had already had for years prior. I upped my sessions with her. I went to my doctor. I talked about my depression and my anxiety. She was able to help me there. And I started to put more effort and focus on getting myself into the most balanced place that I possibly could based on my circumstances so that I could thrive on top of that. This has got to be balanced in order to build on top of that, which would be your identity. One of the biggest things that I've learned during this year and a half that I've been going through this is that our identities evolve and change. I would not say that they disappear. They change. And so sometimes we hold on so tightly to who we were before when we were married, and we had this idea of what the future was going to be like. And then when that's gone, or when there's a change, we get stuck in our tracks, we get paralyzed. And so I've had to really let go of those expectations of what life is going to bring me. And the most important thing is that my base, my foundation is solid, because life will always be changing and flowing in a different direction. And my identity will flow and evolve with that. Today, I would say I'm a 43-year-old woman who is a survivor, who has 2 amazing children that I love very, very much. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. I am somehow managing this crazy dumpster fire that was left for me. And if I can do that, I'm pretty excited to see what I can do next.